Welcome to the Heart of the Matter. I am Wale Adefarasin and I'm your presenter for today's episode. And on today's episode, we have the pleasure to bring you Mrs. M.M. Mwogogu. She is a parent, she's a life coach, and she's also the author of a book, Parenting Organizer. And so I'm sure there's lots that we will be able to glean from her experience and wisdom. So stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment with today's episode. Welcome to the Heart of the Matter, where our guest today is M.M. Mwogogu. It's a pleasure to have you on the Heart of the Matter. Now, M.M. is a wife, she's a parent, she's a life coach, she's a minister of the gospel, she's a project manager. So she's a package with many, many parts.
Yes, that's true.
You're welcome to the Heart of the Matter.
Thank you so much.
How do you combine being, well, I guess one of the toughest jobs as a parent, how do you combine all of these together?
I actually just found out that I was multi-talented as a child and I didn't like that part of me. I was very shy. Every time people discovered I was good at something, like, how many things you do? So I always want to hide or run away from accepting who I am. But now I just had to accept and then plan. I started becoming very organized. I started creating new support system, nurturing my support system, and making sure that I set goals for different aspects of my life.
So you are a very organized person.
Yes.
And that's what really helps you to manage all the different sides of your life and ministry.
That's true.
You also said that you're a minister of the gospel.
Yes.
How did you get into ministry?
Wow. I started ministry when I was a teenager in Kano State, Nigeria. In Kano, a lot of people in the northern part of Nigeria, when you hear a northern Christian, they're kind of different from my upbringing, because back then we just focus, like, you have no other hope because there could be riot at any time. So it's either you're with God or you're not with God. So I grew up going to the church. I was very active in different departments. I think I developed my talent when I was much younger. And then when I got older, I wasn't involved in anything church, ministry, secondary school, from SS1 till after university. My mom kept telling me, go back. You need to go back and serve, that you're a child of God. I know I'm a child of God, but I don't like the whole born again thing. It looks like they're a bit, very archaic, like back then, so. And God just caught me back again after university. And then the journey was so long, but last year my ministry got inaugurated because I've been serving, doing a lot of work in God's house.
So what does your ministry do?
My ministry, what it does is it brings people back to Christ. That's the first thing, making sure that they know who Jesus is, as not religion. It's a relationship. And then we also do a lot of outreaches. We do a lot of speaking, talking to people, and encouraging people, and leading them back to Christ.
So let's go to another part of your life and ministry. That's the life coaching part. Yes. Now you're a UK certified life coach.
Yes.
What exactly does a life coach do?
A life coach really literally just works with individuals or organizations, making sure that they achieve their goals, making sure that they achieve the particular, their real purpose while they are here. So for some people, there are a lot of people out there that really want to become who they want to become, but they don't have anyone to work with them. So professionally, we have coaching tools that we use for different aspects of the person's or the organization's goals.
What about the person who comes to you and says, I really don't know my purpose? Is that part of what you would take on board?
Yes, we can. We have sessions where we have, they call them discovery sessions.
Okay. So
we can work with them using discovery tools. A lot of questions, they can discover who they are and what they want to achieve.
Now, one of the problems that our society faces today is, I would say, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that there has been a decrease in the quality of parenting.
That's very true. I agree with you.
And so somehow we need to bring back quality parents. And I think one of the problems is that parents are just not spending enough time with their children.
That's true.
So you have written this book,
yes, sir.
Parenting Organizer.
Yes.
And it's to help parents
yes.
be able to fulfill their responsibility. Tell us how it came about.
Okay.
I guess you didn't just wake up one morning and say, let's write the book.
No, it didn't happen like that. So when I had my daughter, I was running a fashion business. and I had a nanny, a new nanny.
So that's another aspect of
That's
your
an aspect
fashion.
of me. So I'm not running a business right now because I found out that it wasn't my core talent.
Okay.
So, and then when I started the business, then my husband said, we can't leave this little baby at home with this nanny. So I carried her everywhere, to market, to Balogun, even if he wasn't so aware about the Balogun part, because he'd be like, oh my God, my baby. Like I had to work, and I had a business. So I noticed that every time, even when I was ready to leave her at home from when she was 18 to 2 years old, I was always worried. This child, are you sure this nanny will do what I said? So I started documenting. This is what we'll do by this time. This was what we're about to do. But this book came into life when I was planning a parenting class for mothers.
Okay.
I usually organize events every year for parents. Because of my challenges, I felt I struggled a lot. So I wanted to create a platform where people can come and share their challenges and issues and solutions. So I've organized like 2 or 3 events for moms.
So just share some of the challenges that parents.
So one of the challenges, I struggled with my health. I didn't have time to take care of myself. I didn't look very good. I didn't care. And a lot of stress, exhaustion. And my business also suffered. Even if I was trying to work, run the business also had to suffer because there was no proper structure in the home. Even if I was putting all my energy into the family and I was leaving my business. So I had to make sure that the family doesn't suffer while I'm trying to run.
So these kind of challenges common to other women that
Yes.
And the parenting conferences you did,
Yes.
were they strictly for women?
They were for male and women. People were really happy. Most people came and they were just blown away because I brought a lot of professionals from different fields. And
No, because I really want to zero in on parenting.
Okay.
Because, as I said, time is one of the issues that parents
Exactly,
have.
it's time.
But what are the other challenges that parents are facing? I mean, one of the reasons they don't have time, obviously, must be work.
Yes, it's work.
So what do you say? What would you say to a parent who has no way either give up some of the work they're doing in order to be able to spend more time with their children, or if they continue their work, they know their children are going to suffer?
There are 2 things they can do. They can either get some people don't really know, like entrepreneurs think they can do everything on their own. They need to create a support team that is very viable, like beneficial both parties. So they can either hire a personal assistant that is going to work for them as an individual, or they can actually delegate some of their jobs to someone else and then make sure that they create time for their children.
Okay.
Yes.
One of the most important things I think the whole family is for,
Yes.
and parenting, one of the goals of parenting
Yes.
is to pass values
Down to
the children.
Yes.
But how does that happen if the nanny is the person that spends most
of the time with the
children?
children? That can happen if your nanny is well trained, and that is why I'm organizing a class for nannies in May, because I realize even some parents tell me, I bought your book, but I'm not using it at the moment. I don't have the time because they're very busy on the move. And I said, okay, that means that there has to be a solution. I need to create the middle people who I need to train them, because I've trained my nannies how to talk, how to speak, how to teach, both voice, even how to teach a little child how to pronounce words when you're teaching a child. So I don't support that they should abandon their kids, but if they're in a very tight position where they have to provide, then they need a very solid team in the house.
I still have a problem.
I have a problem with that too.
I just feel that
there has to be someone has to give away. Either the dad has to work and the mom has to run her own business and juggle it, because that's what I did.
What I'm advocating is that maybe we have to make lifestyle changes, so that we can spend more time with our children.
That's true.
Because obviously something has been going wrong in the family.
Truly.
And once you have a dysfunction in the family, it's going to affect the whole community.
Society. Yes.
So that's why I say, can we tell fathers?
Yes.
You must spend at least an hour with your child every day.
More than an hour, if they can. Because in the mornings, like my husband makes sure that she reads her Bible. There's a particular book, 100 Promises from the Bible. She says them out. I'm loved by God. God loves me. So he does that path.
Okay.
Like he walks with her in the mornings. While I'm getting ready, I'm rushing to make sure that I take her to school. So everybody has to know their role. Okay. And then I think more than an hour. If the daddies can do that, that would be awesome.
Okay, and daddies, I think, should also participate in the school run.
They should, truly, they should. I've had lots of issues with my husband because of that.
Because you have said that it's an opportunity to spend time.
It is.
That's part of the bonding.
That is true.
You get the opportunity to debrief.
True.
On the
Ask
way
questions.
back from school, what happened in school today.
Yes.
On the way to school,
They have conversations, and then we have things where we do, maybe we're going to school, we have maybe a Bible story book or a French book on our way back, and we ask questions, and the questions are here. You can ask them questions, what happened in school? They have sample questions in my book as well. And for some men, like my husband says that his time, the work schedule will not permit him to leave at that time to do the pickup. So there has to be some form of understanding, although I've struggled with that a lot.
Yeah. There has to be some understanding.
Exactly.
But the point I'm trying to hammer
Yes.
is that the school run is not simply about getting your children to school.
No.
It's about
it's
that
bonding time. Yes, if they
bonding
can, please,
time.
they should. If they can, because it's a time for you to really ask a lot of questions. They get to communicate with you. It's so amazing, like the things we've achieved during school run.
Well, you never find time. You have to make time.
You have to make time. Sure.
And so if a parent feels sufficiently motivated
Yes.
to do the school run, I'm sure he can juggle a few things around.
They can.
And then the other part of the question I asked was about passing values
Yes.
and your principles in life
Sure.
across to the children.
Yeah.
How does that happen through a third party?
That happens through a third party if they watch you doing it every day. They know the standard. And sometimes I used to be the kind of mom where I would hear my baby doing something that wasn't very cool, and I'll just wait for just my husband to react. So he reacts immediately. Go back there, don't do this. So they see that you do that every day. And then when the nanny see that the child is not doing what you told them, they say, they'll report, like, please excuse me, madam.
Another thing is family vision. I remember that living in my father's house, all of his children knew that one of his goals for us was that we would all have at least a first degree. So that to me was, if I went and said I want to be a plumber, he would have had
To ask you questions.
in fact, he would have just said, well, that's your own problem. I'm not paying for anything.
Exactly.
So now, tell us a bit more about the organizer itself.
Okay.
How does it help you organize?
It helps you organize from your vision as a person, as an individual.
So you can actually write that down.
Yes, it's
a
here.
bit
Yes.
like a journal.
Yeah, like a journal, like a diary, it's like a diary. You can write down what you want. It gives you an opportunity to plan your vision as a family vision, emotional healing. If you're hurting from your spouse or any challenges you've had as a child, you can actually have your emotional healing session as an adult with a book privately on your own if you don't want to see a coach or a counselor.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll talk about some of the other things that you can actually use the book to do when we come back from a break.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
viewers, stay tuned.
Thank
We'll
you.
be back in a moment.
Thank you.
Don't misunderstand me. Say don't misunderstand me. I know I sound crazy.
Àní lọ́gán tí ó dé ó wá ṣẹ̀dá láyé mi létò. Àní lọ́gán tí ó dé ó Ọlọ́run o. Láyé mi létò.
Ayo, ayo, ayo. Let somebody shout the hallelujah, hallelujah. Hey, somebody shout the hallelujah, hallelujah.
Jesus, you love me too much. Too much, excess love.
Welcome back to the Heart of the Matter, where we have as our guest Mrs. M.M. Mwogogu.
Thank you, sir.
We're having quite a nice chat
Yes.
about parenting.
Parenting.
And before we went on the break, you were talking about the book
Yes.
and the things that the book actually helps parents to do.
do.
That they do anyway, but they'll do much more efficiently because of the book.
Yes.
So you talked about being able to put down
Your schedule, write down your schedule.
your family vision
And all of that.
So what are the other things?
Yeah, other
just
things,
take us
I can
kind
take-
of chapter by chapter.
Okay,
through
chapter
the
by
book.
chapter. It's we have reading timetable.
Okay.
We have talent to observe. When you observe a talent, you can jot it down. This child likes to sing. Talent to develop. Talent you observe your child already has, and you want to develop them. It just allows you to just set a goal.
Okay.
Like, this is what I want my child to do. We have food planning template, shopping plan if you want to shop.
So you said reading time, which I remember. Maybe this is a generational thing, but they always talk about the 3 R's: reading, writing, arithmetic.
Yes.
So you get time, and you can schedule time and make sure you don't miss it.
Yes.
For each of those
And
things.
also make sure that you are covering where the child needs development. Okay. So sometimes teachers will tell me, oh, I think her phonics is not. I'm like, really? Oh, she's good at phonics at home. Okay, thank you. And I go back home and I put a lot of time. So
Okay, so food, you talked about food. So you can
emotional
put the
healing.
child's menu on.
Yes, you can. The menu, because you can only plan for the week. I only have one table for the food plan because if not, it would be too big and voluminous if I included that. And then the book has gives you opportunities to have a vision for yourself, set goals. You can have your goal setting with the book as well. And then you have your how to coach your children if you want to learn how to coach them. Some people think that teaching children how to read is very difficult. So some people tell me the child doesn't concentrate. They're not calm. How do you get them to sit down and read at home? Because they're always playing. So you can actually read and then see how that works. There's decluttering as well. How to declutter your home. I do that every 6 to 3 months. I give out stuff.
What does I understand what you mean, but for the benefit of the viewers.
Okay, for you to declutter, to take out things you don't need or things that are still good but you don't use them. You can give them out. I go to orphanages, good condition, and then you give them out. Or if you want to sell them, that's up to you. But I don't sell them. I just give them out.
Okay, so it's important that
it's
people
important
go
because
through
of the
their homes.
mindset, mental health, space, making sure that the home is clean at all the time. And then you have your housekeeper's job description in here.
Okay.
And then there's a spacing in the book where the housekeeper doesn't do all the work, and she doesn't break down. He or she doesn't break down. So they have days, off days. They have time to rest in the afternoon. The housekeeper cannot do everything in one day. So they either cook on Wednesdays, Monday just for cleaning and ironing. So this book allows you to really space, plan their work and their schedule and what they do.
Now, would you be prepared to help parents who need counseling
Yes.
on their parenting?
Yes, I will be because I'm very passionate about it, and I never thought I'll be doing this because I just wanted to be a life coach because I speak, I motivate, but I didn't think parenting will be something that I'll find myself. Even when I go to places and say parent, like, I'm a parent coach, but finally I find that I'm very passionate about it.
So that's a parenting coach.
Yes, like leadership parent coach.
That's a new one. I haven't heard that.
So leadership parent coach. That's what the lady told me. Like, really? Okay. So I really, really like to share that. It's not easy. It's not an easy journey. It's not a one day, and it's not a competition. You have different family structure. Just do what works and what is perfect for you and for God first, and your family and the child.
So what are the kind of problems that parents will come to you with?
The kind of problems they come to me, mostly they tell me things about their kids not being able to read. Some of them say their nannies can't speak English. What should they do? Some of them say their kids don't concentrate very well. They have low concentration span. And then they also talk about, some of them talk about manners, different things. Some of them talk about their marriage and their relationship. And
Okay, now just talk about concentration span. If
Yes.
I take that up.
yes.
What causes children to have a low concentration span?
I think sometimes it has to do with the age. Every child wants to be. They are very playful from 0 to 2 plus. It's very hard to really get them. But if you want to, I don't know what causes it. Maybe just their hormones or the environment that the child is growing, and then also if you this thing, if you start it from the early stage, whereby the child knows that by 4 I'm sitting down. Even now, my daughter will tell us in the morning she doesn't read affirmations. Even if she's been reading it every morning, she's a child. So I'll come out and I'll encourage her, and I'll sit close to her, open the the papers, and then she goes through it. So it's a daily practice. If a child has low concentration span.
This is still talking about
Yeah.
concentration span,
Yeah.
but going back to diet.
Okay.
I remember one couple came and told me how they're taking their child abroad for some sort of to help analyze what the problem
Okay,
was, because
okay.
this child was hyperactive, and in the end, all they had to do was cut down the child's sugar.
Wow, that's true. I've heard that a lot of times. That's true. For me, I think food is so important. Like I know a woman who said that kids were very ill when she had them. She started cooking lovely meals, parsley, like using herbs, ginger. Even her smoothie has ginger and garlic. So you have to be intentional about their food. It affects their health and the way they behave.
And so, because you talked about marital problems as well, and I feel when a couple have marital problems, it's going to affect the quality of their parenting.
It does.
So that in solving the marital issues,
yeah.
you're also
So
helping them.
the child as well.
So what are the kind of issues? I mean, our society in Lagos, where you live,
yes.
is so full of challenges. What are the
Traffic.
kind of challenges that people are?
Kind of challenges people will have in Lagos. One of it is money problems. Some people don't want to accept what they're very good at. They rather do another business they're not very good at, and sometimes they're not able to provide enough for themselves and for their family. And number 2, value problem. So number 3, religion. Family.
What about if the couple were from different religions?
That can affect as well. I've seen cases where a man is a Muslim and the wife is a Christian, and they keep struggling with the children
Going to church,
The children should go to the mosque and all of that. That can happen as well. I think also body image problems, a big problem. Body image.
Okay.
Yes.
When you say body image,
Body shaming. It's a problem in this society. People don't really talk about that a lot.
please talk about it some more.
Okay, so when a lot of being a parent means that you're very busy, and most times parents really put themselves at the last,
So
on
they're not
the
looking
list.
after
Yes, and
themselves.
looking after themselves. They don't have time to manage stress. Stress management is a huge problem. So when they don't have the time, they don't eat well. They don't plan their meals. They don't have good support system that helps them, and they don't take care of their support system as well. So that also affects their health, and affects their relationship, affects intimacy, affects the marriage, and they affects the child.
That's a term I hadn't heard before. Body shaming.
Yes.
Okay. So what is the most surprising thing that you've learned as a parent?
What I've learned as a parent is that your child wants your time. That's the most important thing. And then I learned that love is so important. Love at any time. There's no special time to really show love to your child. At any time you have to show them how much you love them. Some typical Nigerian people, well, the way we grew up is when there's good food, you go to a good school, we're not very affectionate, or we don't show. It's more like
We're
when
not
you're very
huggers.
polished. Yes, we're not huggers. We're like, oh, how you doing? Or like, oh, so the kids just know that, they see love as good, going to the movies and, a lot of that. The kids need more affection, like, I love you. So they don't look for it outside as they become teenagers, and even when they are much younger. So I learned that I have to be intentional about how I show love to my daughter.
So still on parenting.
Okay.
You're how old is your daughter?
She's 5 this
Okay,
year.
5.
Yes.
Okay, so she's just beginning.
Yes.
She's in nursery school now.
Yes.
and
Pre-nursery. She's going into primary
Primary
1.
school pretty soon.
Pretty soon.
What are the things that you would say that you've learned
Okay.
that you would avoid
Okay.
if you had it all over to do again?
Okay.
Or was there nothing?
Oh, there is. I think I would not. When I was pregnant, I would not take fizzy drinks.
Fizzy drinks you like,
Yes.
but you realize they're not really
they're not
that
good. Yes.
Now, going back to the book, because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
Somebody's watching this on TV now,
Okay.
and they say, "Wow, I would like a copy of that book."
Okay.
How do they go about getting hold
Okay.
of your book?
Okay. They can check us on Lapax, www.lapax.com, or they can go on Jumia. They can search and they can
So
get
all that information will go on.
We'll go on,
will
yes,
be on the
and
screen.
then Instagram. We're on Instagram, and then Facebook as well. They can also just type the Parent Organizer to come up. It will be on Amazon as well very soon.
The parent organizer.
Yes, just parent organizer. It will pop up. And then Instagram is faster. And then Jumia as well, Latana, and some other bookstores in Lagos, Ikoyi, and Abuja as well have our books.
And have you got anything for the audience?
Yes, what I want to say is that you have to be intentional about your life. You are here to accomplish something that's bigger than you. You're here to build a legacy. You're here to build other people, not just yourself. So you have to be intentional about yourself, your mental health, your loving to other people. The way you're living is what your kids are going to pick up. They're going to take everything that they see you do. They're not going to take what you say, but what you do. So I think we should all go out there and be our best selves as much as possible. And then look out for my class. I have a class coming for an upcoming class for nannies and housekeepers. It will be in May, so you can actually check me on Instagram and then get more details about the class. Thank you.
If they go on Instagram,
Yes.
and just type in parent organizer, they'll get your book.
Yes.
Okay.
And also, there's going to be a giveaway. If you follow The Heart of the Matter on Instagram, you're going to get copies of my book. So
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
It's been a privilege having you
Thank
on
you
The
very
Heart
much.
of the Matter.
Thank you so much.
We do hope you'll come again.
Yes, I
and
will
we can
be.
take this up
Thank you so
some
much.
more. So thanks ever so
Thank you
much
so
for
much.
coming.
Hello, my name is Tolulopetunde Ajiboye. You can call me TTA for short. I know you are used to that line already. I'm super excited. Can you guess why? It's that time of the year again, where we'll be hosting the Blooming International Conference, and this year's edition is tagged Thrive. Are you a young lady? Do you desire to live in the fullness of life God has called you to? Do you believe that there is more to your life? If you answered yes to those questions, then this conference is for you. We have a lineup of amazing speakers. I'm not sure you want to miss this opportunity. See you there.
Welcome back to this episode. We've just had a wonderful chat with MM Mogogu, and I learned many things from chatting with her, and I found it quite interesting that after having her baby, she wished that she hadn't had fizzy drinks while she was pregnant. I wonder how many of you are thinking that way. So we'll be back again next week with another episode, but please follow us on social media. All the details are on the screen. Until we meet again, God bless.